Before this message begins, I need you to ask yourself one question. What if the delay you've been frustrated about wasn't a punishment from God, but the final preparation for a blessing that is now at your doorstep? Archangel Michael says many people are about to miss the very thing they've been praying for because they're still focused on the waiting season instead of the blessing that has already begun to arrive. In today's message, you'll discover why your waiting period lasted longer than expected, the sign that proves your breakthrough is near, and the one mistake that could keep you from recognizing what heaven is placing in front of you right now. Stay with me until the end, because the final part of this message may reveal exactly why God allowed you to wait and why your season is finally changing. My beloved child, I am Archangel Michael, and I have come today with a message that many people need to hear. Some of you have been waiting for answers. Some of you have been waiting for a breakthrough. Some of you have been waiting for a door to open, a prayer to be answered, or a burden to finally be lifted. And if you're honest, there have been moments when you wondered if God had forgotten you. You prayed, you believed, you remained faithful, yet the answer seemed delayed. But listen carefully. The waiting was never meant to destroy your faith. The waiting was preparing you for what comes next. Many people think blessings arrive suddenly. What they don't see is the preparation that happens before the blessing appears. Before a tree produces fruit, its roots grow deep beneath the ground. Before the sunrise becomes visible, the sky remains dark. Before a breakthrough appears in your life, God often works behind the scenes where human eyes cannot see. You have been focusing on the delay, but heaven has been focused on the preparation. There were lessons you needed to learn, strength you needed to develop, wisdom you needed to gain. Because if God had given you everything immediately, you may not have been ready to sustain it. My child, sometimes the greatest act of love is not an immediate answer. Sometimes the greatest act of love is preparation. Think about the challenges you've faced. Think about the disappointments you've survived. Think about the battles that should have broken you but didn't. You may have seen only pain, but heaven saw growth. You may have seen obstacles, but heaven saw training. You may have seen delay, but heaven saw preparation. And now many of the things that once confused you are beginning to make sense. The closed door protected you. The delayed opportunity strengthened you. The difficult season transformed you. Nothing was wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single prayer. Not a single moment of waiting. God has been collecting every prayer you've whispered in private. Every time you cried out for help. Every moment you chose faith instead of giving up. He saw it all. And today I need you to hear this truth. The blessing you've been waiting for is not arriving because you earned it. It is arriving because God remained faithful to his promise. Human beings often judge situations by what they can see, but heaven judges according to a larger picture. What feels late to you is often perfectly timed by God. What appears delayed is often being aligned. What seems impossible is often being prepared. There are things happening right now that you cannot yet see. Conversations are taking place. Opportunities are being positioned. Doors are being prepared. People are being moved into place. And while you have been wondering whether anything was happening, heaven has been actively working on your behalf. This is why you must not lose hope now. Not when you're closer than you've ever been before. The enemy wants you to quit just before the breakthrough. He wants you to become discouraged just before the answer appears. He wants you to focus on the years of waiting instead of the season of arrival. But don't make that mistake, because something is changing. You may not see it fully yet. You may not understand all of it yet, but a shift has begun. The season that once felt stuck is beginning to move. The season that felt silent is beginning to speak. And the blessing you've been waiting for is moving closer with every passing day. So hold on. Remain faithful. Continue trusting God. Because what heaven has prepared for you is worth every moment of waiting. And in the next part of this message, I will reveal the first sign that your blessing is closer than you think. My beloved child, I am Archangel Michael, and today I must reveal something that many people overlook when heaven is preparing to move in their lives. Most people expect blessings to arrive with dramatic signs. They expect instant answers. They expect sudden miracles. They expect a moment so obvious that no explanation will be needed. But often, that is not how God works. In many cases, the first sign that your blessing is approaching does not appear as an increase. It appears as a shaking. It appears as a disruption. It appears as a season where old things begin to fall away. And because people do not understand this process, they become afraid. They mistake preparation for destruction. They mistake transition for failure. They mistake divine movement for chaos. But listen carefully. If certain things in your life have recently started changing unexpectedly, this message may be for you. Because before God brings something new into your life, He often creates room for it first. Imagine trying to pour fresh water into a cup that is already full. Nothing new can enter until something else is removed. The same principle often applies spiritually. Many of you have been asking God for increase, while still holding on to things that belong to an old season. Old fears, old habits, old relationships, old beliefs about yourself, and sometimes even old wounds. You have prayed for growth, but growth requires change. You have prayed for new opportunities, but new opportunities require new space. You have prayed for God's direction, but direction often begins with movement. And movement can feel uncomfortable. That is why some of you have been feeling different lately. You may not be able to explain it. You may not even have words for it. But deep inside, something feels different. Things that once excited you no longer have the same power. Places where you once felt comfortable now feel unfamiliar. Conversations that once felt meaningful suddenly seem empty. And part of you wants what is happening. You wonder whether something is wrong. You wonder whether you've lost motivation. You wonder whether you've become disconnected. But perhaps the truth is something entirely different. Perhaps God is gently loosening your attachment to a season that is ending. Because one of the first signs that a blessing is approaching is that you begin to outgrow the place where you currently are. Not because that place was bad. Not because those people were evil. Not because your past had no value. But because heaven knows that where God is taking you cannot be fully reached while you remain attached to where you have been. Many people resist this process. They fight it. They cling to familiarity. They try to force old doors to remain open. But God sees what they cannot see. He knows when a chapter has reached its conclusion. He knows when preparation is complete. He knows when your current environment can no longer support your growth. And when that moment arrives, change begins. Sometimes gradually, sometimes suddenly, but always purposefully. My child, think about the seasons of your life. Look back honestly. Some of your greatest blessings arrived only after something ended. A relationship ended. A job ended. A plan ended. An expectation ended. At the time, it felt painful. At the time, it felt unfair. At the time, it felt like loss. But later, you realized that what seemed like an ending was actually a beginning. This is why you must be careful not to judge your current season too quickly. What feels confusing today may become clear tomorrow. What feels disappointing today may become meaningful later. What feels like a closed door today may actually be divine protection. Because God often sees dangers hidden behind opportunities. He sees outcomes hidden behind choices. He sees paths that lead nowhere. And in His mercy, He sometimes closes doors that would have caused you harm. Yet many people become angry when this happens. They ask, why did this opportunity disappear? Why didn't that relationship work? Why was my plan delayed? What happened to everything I hoped for? But what if the very thing that disappointed you was actually protecting you? What if the delay was a shield? What if the rejection was a redirection? What if heaven was rescuing you from something you could not yet see? These are difficult questions, because human beings naturally focus on immediate results. We want answers now. We want clarity now. We want certainty now. But faith requires trust even when complete understanding has not yet arrived. And this is where many people struggle. They trust God when everything makes sense, but they panic when circumstances become unclear. Yet some of the greatest miracles in history began during moments of uncertainty. Some of the greatest breakthroughs began during seasons of confusion. Some of the greatest victories began during periods when it looked like nothing was happening. That is why I need you to remain patient. Do not allow temporary uncertainty to convince you that God has abandoned His promise. Do not allow present confusion to erase years of faithfulness. And do not allow one difficult season to define your future, because heaven is still moving. Even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot feel it, even when nothing appears to be changing. There are things happening behind the scenes right now. Conversations you know nothing about. Opportunities you have not yet discovered. Connections that have not yet appeared. Doors that are quietly being prepared. And while you focus on the visible world, God continues working within the invisible one. This is why faith remains so powerful. Faith allows you to keep walking before the evidence arrives. Faith allows you to keep believing before the breakthrough appears. Faith allows you to remain steady while heaven completes its work. Now here is something many people never realize. When your blessing begins approaching, resistance often increases. Unexpected obstacles appear. Discouragement becomes stronger. Doubt becomes louder. Negative thoughts become more persistent. And many people assume this means they are moving in the wrong direction. But sometimes the opposite is true. Sometimes increased resistance is a sign that movement is already happening. Think about it. A person standing still experiences little resistance, but a person moving forward encounters opposition. The same can be true spiritually. As God prepares to elevate you, distractions increase. As God prepares to open a door, discouragement increases. As God prepares to answer a prayer, doubt often makes one final attempt to steal your faith. This is why you must guard your mind carefully during this season. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every fear deserves your agreement. Not every negative possibility deserves your focus. Because whatever receives your focus gains power over your emotions. And the enemy understands this principle very well. If he cannot stop your blessing, he will try to stop your expectation. If he cannot block the opportunity, he will attack your confidence. If he cannot destroy the promise, he will try to convince you to abandon it. That is why so many people quit moments before their breakthrough. They become tired. They become discouraged. They become impatient. And they walk away just before the answer arrives. My child, do not make that mistake. You have come too far. You have survived too much. You have prayed too long. You have grown too much. And heaven has invested too much into your journey for you to surrender now. There is a reason this message found you. There is a reason these words are reaching you today. And there is a reason you feel something stirring inside your spirit as you listen. Because your season is changing. The waiting is not endless. The silence is not permanent. The delay is not your final destination. Something is moving. Something is aligning. Something is being prepared. And in the next part of this message, I will reveal another powerful sign that many people experience shortly before a major blessing enters their life. A sign so subtle that most people completely overlook it until later. But once you understand it, you will never see your current season the same way again. My beloved child, I am Archangel Michael, and there is something important you must understand before the blessing you've been waiting for fully arrives. Many people believe that once God decides to bless them, the journey becomes easy. They imagine that every obstacle disappears and every challenge suddenly comes to an end. But that is not always how spiritual growth works. Often, just before a breakthrough appears, there is a hidden test. This test is not sent to harm you. It is not sent to punish you. It is sent to reveal what has been developed within you during the waiting season. You see, it is easy to trust when everything is going well. It is easy to remain confident when doors are opening. It is easy to believe when the evidence is visible. But true faith is revealed when the answer has not yet arrived. Many people pray for blessings. Few people prepare for the responsibility that comes with them. That is why heaven sometimes allows one final season of testing. Not because God doubts you, but because he wants you to see how much you have grown. Think about your journey. The person you are today is not the same person you were a year ago. You have survived battles that once seemed impossible. You have overcome fears that once controlled your thoughts. You have gained wisdom through experiences you never wanted to face. And even though the process was difficult, it transformed you. The challenge now is not whether God is able to bless you. The challenge is whether you will continue trusting him while the final pieces are being aligned. My child, one of the greatest mistakes people make is becoming impatient near the finish line. After waiting so long, they become exhausted. They begin questioning everything. They start doubting the very promise they once believed. And because of this, they lose their peace just when they need it most. Do not allow impatience to steal what faith has built. Do not allow temporary emotions to override permanent truth. Remember God's timing is never random. Every delay has a purpose. Every lesson has value. Every season carries meaning, even when you cannot see it. Right now, heaven may be asking you to remain faithful for a little longer. Not because your blessing is far away, but because it is closer than you realize. Some of you have already noticed small signs. A new opportunity, an unexpected conversation, a feeling that something is changing, a sense that the season you've been living in is coming to an end. These things are not accidents. They are reminders that movement is taking place. They are evidence that God is still working behind the scenes. And while you may not know exactly how everything will unfold, you do not need to know every detail. You only need enough faith to take the next step. Many people want God to reveal the entire path, but often He reveals it one step at a time. Because if you could see everything at once, faith would no longer be necessary. Trust grows when you continue walking without having all the answers. And that is exactly what many of you are being called to do right now. Keep moving forward. Keep believing. Keep praying. Keep expecting good things. Not because circumstances are perfect, but because God remains faithful. My child, there is another truth you need to hear. The blessing you've been waiting for may not arrive in the form you expected. Sometimes God answers prayers differently than we imagined. Sometimes the opportunity looks different. Sometimes the path changes. Sometimes the answer surprises us. But God's version is often greater than our original plan. That is why you must remain open. Do not become so focused on one specific outcome that you miss the greater thing heaven is providing. Allow God to work in His way. Allow Him to exceed your expectations. Allow Him to open doors you never considered. Because His vision is larger than yours. His understanding is deeper, and His plans reach further than anything you can currently see. As this season continues, remember these words. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not walking alone. The same God who carried you through every previous challenge is carrying you now. The same God who protected you before is protecting you now. And the same God who promised to complete His work in your life is still faithful to that promise. Hold on to that truth, because in the next part of this message, I will reveal why some blessings arrive only after a person finally releases the fear that has been holding them back for years. My beloved child, I am Archangel Michael, and now we come to a truth that many people spend years avoiding. You have prayed for the blessing. You have asked God to open doors. You have waited through seasons of uncertainty. You have remained faithful even when answers seem distant. But there is one thing that can quietly stand between a person and the fullness of what heaven desires to give them. That thing is fear. Not the fear of danger, not the fear of failure alone, but the fear of change. The fear of stepping into something greater. The fear of leaving behind what feels familiar. Many people say they want a new season, but deep inside, they are still attached to the old one. They pray for growth while secretly resisting transformation. They ask God for new opportunities while holding tightly to old limitations. And because of this, they remain trapped between where they have been and where they are meant to go. My child, fear often disguises itself as caution. It disguises itself as logic. It disguises itself as practicality. But if you look closely, you will see that fear has one primary goal: to keep you standing still. Fear wants you to delay. Fear wants you to doubt. Fear wants you to question every opportunity that appears before you. Fear wants you to believe that you are not ready, not qualified, not capable, not strong enough. But heaven says otherwise. God would not have brought you this far if He intended to abandon you now. He would not have carried you through every previous battle only to leave you helpless at the edge of your breakthrough. The same strength that sustained you yesterday will sustain you tomorrow. The same wisdom that guided you before will guide you again. And the same God who opened impossible doors in the past is still able to open them today. Many of you are standing at the threshold of a new chapter. You can feel it. You sense it. You know something is shifting. Yet part of you remains hesitant. You wonder, what if it doesn't? Work out? What if I fail? What if I make the wrong decision? These questions are natural, but do not allow them to control you. Because every meaningful step of faith requires uncertainty. When God called people into greater purpose throughout history, He rarely showed them every detail in advance. Instead, He asked them to trust Him, step by step, day by day, season by season. And now He is asking the same thing of you. Trust Him even when the full picture is not visible. Trust Him even when the path seems unfamiliar. Trust Him even when fear whispers that staying where you are is safer. Because sometimes what feels safe is actually what keeps you stuck. My child, there are blessings that cannot be received while living in constant fear. Not because God is unwilling to give them, but because fear prevents people from walking through the doors He opens. Imagine someone praying for a new opportunity for years. Then one day the opportunity appears, but fear convinces them not to act. Fear tells them they might fail. Fear tells them they are unprepared. Fear tells them they should wait longer. And so the opportunity passes. The problem was never the lack of a blessing. The problem was the unwillingness to move when the blessing arrived. That is why courage matters. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing faith despite fear. Courage is moving forward even when certainty is unavailable. Courage is trusting God's promise more than your own doubts. And I believe many of you are being called into that kind of courage right now, because the season ahead will require it. The blessing ahead will require it. The opportunities ahead will require it. There will be moments when you must decide whether to listen to fear or faith, whether to focus on limitations or possibilities, whether to believe your doubts or believe God's promises. Choose wisely, because the direction of your attention often determines the direction of your life. What you consistently focus on begins shaping your expectations, and your expectations influence your actions. If you expect failure, you will hesitate. If you expect disappointment, you will withdraw. If you expect nothing good to happen, you may overlook the very thing you've been praying for. But if you expect God to remain faithful, if you expect heaven to continue working, if you expect blessings to arrive in God's perfect timing, then you will begin noticing opportunities where others see obstacles. You will begin recognizing open doors where others see walls. You will begin seeing hope where others see impossibility. My child, this is not because your circumstances suddenly changed. It is because your perspective changed. And perspective is powerful. A person filled with fear can stand in the middle of a blessing and still see only problems. A person filled with faith can stand in the middle of challenges and still see possibilities. That is why God works not only on your circumstances, but also on your heart. Because before He changes what is around you, He often transforms what is within you. And perhaps that transformation has already begun. Perhaps the reason you are listening to this message today is because heaven is preparing your heart for what comes next. Perhaps the waiting season was teaching you lessons that success alone could never teach. Perhaps the delays were building strength. Perhaps the obstacles were creating wisdom. Perhaps the challenges were developing endurance. And now, because of everything you've endured, you are stronger than you realize, more prepared than you realize. Do not underestimate how much growth has taken place during the seasons that seemed unproductive. Some of the greatest transformations happen quietly. Just as roots grow unseen beneath the ground, spiritual growth often develops beyond the reach of human eyes. Yet its effects eventually become visible. And soon, the results of your growth will begin appearing in ways you never expected. Doors will open. Opportunities will emerge. Connections will form. Answers will arrive. Not because luck suddenly changed, but because preparation is meeting opportunity. And when preparation meets opportunity, extraordinary things can happen. My child, I want you to remember something as we approach the final part of this message. Your blessing is not merely about receiving something. It is about becoming someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more faithful, someone more aligned with God's purpose. Because the greatest blessing is not only what God places in your hands, it is what He develops within your heart along the journey. And in the final part of this message, I will reveal the powerful truth about why your breakthrough may be much closer than you think, and the final sign that many people notice just before their season completely changes. My beloved child, I am Archangel Michael, and if you have stayed with this message until this moment, then there is one final truth I must reveal to you. Many people spend years waiting for a sign from heaven. They wait for proof. They wait for certainty. They wait for a moment when every doubt disappears and every question is answered. But often, blessings do not arrive with a loud announcement. They arrive quietly. They begin moving long before people notice them. And that is why so many individuals fail to recognize that their breakthrough has already started. My child, the blessing you have been waiting for is not something that will suddenly appear from nowhere. The process has already begun. The answers are already being arranged. The doors are already being prepared. The opportunities are already moving into position. Even now, as you listen to these words, there are things happening beyond your sight. There are connections being formed. There are circumstances changing. There are paths opening. And there are obstacles being removed. You may not see it yet, but heaven sees it. You may not understand it yet, but heaven understands it. You may not know how everything will happen, but God already knows. This is why you must stop measuring your future by your current circumstances. Your present situation is not the final chapter of your story. Your current struggle is not your permanent reality, and your delay is not your destiny. Too many people become trapped because they judge tomorrow by what happened yesterday. They allow old disappointments to define future expectations. They allow previous failures to shape future decisions. And without realizing it, they begin expecting limitation instead of possibility. But that is not what God desires for you. God is calling you to lift your eyes higher, to look beyond the temporary struggle, to look beyond the present obstacle, to look beyond the season of waiting, because there is more ahead of you than behind you. There are blessings you have not yet experienced, victories you have not yet celebrated, doors you have not yet walked through, and opportunities you have not yet imagined. My child, remember everything we've discussed throughout this message. The waiting season was not wasted. The delays were not meaningless. The challenges were not pointless. Every lesson had a purpose. Every obstacle carried a hidden assignment. Every difficult season was developing something inside you. You are stronger because of what you endured. You are wiser because of what you survived. You are more prepared because of what you learned. And now, the growth that happened in private is preparing to produce results in public. Do not underestimate what God can do with a prepared heart. Do not underestimate what God can do with a faithful person. Do not underestimate what God can do with someone who refuses to quit. Because many of the greatest breakthroughs happen after people reach the point where they almost gave up. One more prayer, one more step, one more act of faith, one more day of believing, and suddenly everything changes. My child, I believe there are people listening to this message right now who are much closer to their blessing than they realize, closer than they think, closer than they feel, closer than circumstances suggest. The breakthrough may not arrive exactly as you imagined, but it is coming. The opportunity is coming. The answer is coming. The new season is coming. And when it arrives, you will understand why God asked you to wait. You will understand why certain doors remained closed. You will understand why certain plans changed. You will understand why the process took longer than expected. Because God's timing is never late. It is precise. It is intentional. And it is always working toward a greater purpose. So today, release the fear. Release the frustration. Release the disappointment. Release the belief that nothing is happening. Because something is happening. Something is moving. Something is aligning. And heaven is still working on your behalf. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with expectation. Walk forward knowing that God has not forgotten you. And if this message spoke directly to your heart, then I want you to do something right now. Leave a comment below and type, "I am ready for my blessing." This declaration is not for me. It is for you. It is a reminder that you are choosing faith over fear and hope over doubt. And if you know someone who has been struggling, someone who has been waiting, someone who needs encouragement today, share this message with them. You never know whose life could be changed by a single message arriving at the right moment. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because the next message may be exactly the guidance you need for the season ahead. And before you leave, I only encourage you to watch my most recent message on this channel. It connects directly to what we discussed today and may reveal another important piece of what heaven is preparing in your life right now. Do not stop here. Continue the journey. Continue seeking wisdom. Continue strengthening your faith. And remember this, the blessing you've been waiting for has not forgotten your address. It is closer than you think. May peace, wisdom, and divine favor guide your path. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, and keep moving forward.